Our spine made of bone and disc, and the disc is like a tire of a car, sometimes can rupture and push material toward the nerve. So practically the material of the disc come and push on the spinal cord or on the nerve root. In a situation like that, traditionally we would be cutting the muscle, stripping the muscle, taking the bone off in this area, and then approach whatever pushing on the nerve and take it off. And obviously part of the bone has to go. Traditionally we have been doing incision this big. Now we can do with a microscope, literally very small incision, less than 1.5 centimeters. Go put a tube that is a little thicker than that. Over that tube, then we approach, drill the bone, literally take whatever pushing on the nerve away, and people feel much better after that. Now, I use a microscope because that's the only way you can operate in a tube that is a little thicker than that. And the idea of the microscope is more than just magnification. Imagine this is a tube, and this is my eyes, and the microscope brings the axis of my eyes closer so I can watch and operate with 3D on the bottom of this long tube. Now there are endoscopic ways of doing that, but the endoscope doesn't give you 3D view. Additionally, it's important to know when I'm using endoscopy, I'm using one hand to stabilize the endoscope, and I'm like a one-arm bandit, and I'm using only one arm to manipulate with the tissue. Certainly the incision is a little shorter, but not by much. Only time the endoscope is an advantage is when I go the long way. I come from outside to the what we call transforaminal. The microscope doesn't give you a good view in that long of a distance. Endoscope does. Besides that, I don't believe endoscope has any advantage to the microscope. As a matter of fact, microscope gives you 3D view and let you use your both arms. By the way, the microscope is 10 times more expensive than the endoscope, so I'm using a more expensive and mechanically capable tool. Practically what the microscope, what I like about that, it's stabilized. It's staying there, my eyes on that, and it brings the axis of my eyes optically closer to each other that I can look on the bottom of the very long tube with 3D vision and use my both hands. Whereas with the endoscope, you see on the camera a 2D view, and then you only stabilizing the endoscope and using only one hand. So in my opinion, there's no advantage in most of the cases to endoscope to microscope.